Family, what up? We are about to learn why we may never see Take That again. That was my Harlem Shake. Anyway, this whole situation was really, in my eyes, cut and dry from the front. From the front. OMG. From the start. Now, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You do not bite the hand that feeds you. When you're in a certain realm with certain people and they're giving you opportunities, even though they're making money and you have to meet a threshold, they're giving you an opportunity to become the billionaire you became. You feel slighted, played about certain upcoming deals and this and that you're not a part of or you want to be a part of, and then you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go at this company that took me and made me a billionaire. I'm gonna go at them. I'm gonna use the R word. It's the word. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. After everything's done, 22 B's later, not M's, $22 billion later that you costed this company, 3 months later, your houses are getting ran into. We're going to check out this guy's video and why he says what he says. And I wanted to use this guy's video because of the different hue. Hue means color. So it's easy hearing it coming from someone that looks like us, but in my opinion, it hits different when it's someone else that's saying or thinking the same thing. Let's check this guy out.
So I've had, 16 hours to sit and actually think a lot about this, about why I feel the way that I do and why I believe that I have like good thoughts here to share with everybody to make people understand why or how I think people should be looking at this. Okay. Now, when I'm going to do a video about something that I know a lot of my viewers will disagree with, I always feel like I need to try to connect with everybody who's watching so that it's not just the people who agree with me that are like, yes, it's like, I'm trying to talk more to the people who feel another way about it. So that you can at least, you don't need to necessarily come out of this thing agreeing with me, but I just want you to understand where I'm coming from, because bottom line is, I've told you this. I've seen a video of this man beating up a girl. Like, dude, I don't have sympathy for him and his, what happens to him. Now, obviously, if it turned out the only thing he's ever done is like hit women and they were like, oh, we're going to give him the electric chair, I might be like, whoa. Absent bail, it was because he was facing life in prison. It was because he was a flight risk. He's this incredibly wealthy person and all of that stuff. And supposedly he might be tampering with witnesses. That's what they said. Okay. Now, I've said from the beginning that if you're not paying attention to why what the origin of this case actually is, then you can't understand what you're really looking at, right? Because the origin of this case, no one is going to convince me that I'm wrong. Now, I'm not saying I know this for 1000% certain, but what I'm saying is if you put my hand on the table and you're like, all right, this is like the scene in Casino and we're going to break all your fingers in your hand if you're wrong, I would immediately say, this is happening because of what happened between Diddy and Diagio.
Tampering with witnesses and all of this stuff, facing life, okay. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? That's really what we got to ask ourselves. This dude, see, and this is a thing, y'all. This is a thing. This dude really, a lot of people like to say he beat the feds. No, not at all. Not whatsoever. They disrupted his life in a major way, as he probably disrupted theirs. Probably not. That was a $6-figure billion-dollar company, allegedly. But this dude has played a game and bit the hand that fed him. When he could not get the bail after enduring all of these things, I knew it was something, y'all. I knew it was something. The thing is, they disrupted his life. They attacked his character successfully to where his people around him, they already thought certain things, but now they really look at him differently. They successfully executed the plan in which they wanted to. I don't think this dude is gonna come home until the last day of his sentencing, per the paperwork. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing too. This man act thing. Throw an extra N on the end. Make some charges that really only men do. Fellas, let's be real. Let's be real. And I'm gonna be all the way 100 on this. During this YouTube journey, I flew some things out. I've treated them way, way, way good. Great. Galleria, all type of stuff. This is the thing, y'all. They're blurring the lines between dating someone and treating them well and tuition. Pros. Yes. I said it funny for a reason. They're blurring the lines, you guys, and I feel like this thing is a situational thing. But it's funny to me that it's called the Man Act. This man is guilty of domestic V, for sure. For sure. But the people involved, they were all willing participants. Mia, MIA, said everything she said. Then she said she had a dream about K. Relly, and Diddy came to save her. Okay. Cassie, she's so scared, but she dated everybody around this man. Okay.
Diddy bit the hand that fed him in a way that you do not do. Okay, what these people are, these BlackRock guys, Vanguard guys, and I feel like I say these things and some people might not really understand what we're saying. We're not just talking about these people are wealthy, you know, like they're not wealthier than Diddy. These groups, Vanguard and BlackRock, own 95% of like the Fortune 500 companies in the world. They own everything. Okay, like they own everything. Now I'm not saying they own it outright, but they are, you know, the incredibly large shareholders in all of the biggest companies in the world. Okay, they run everything. Okay, everything. If you own 10% of a Fortune 500 company, the influence that you have over that organization, you can't even exaggerate. I mean, like you can't do anything without their say so. Okay, they have voting rights, all of that stuff. They're always on the board. They're always on the board of these companies, and they're kingmakers. Okay, that is what they are. That is why you see such consistent opinions from people who are in Hollywood, who are music artists, like where you see, you're like, where is someone who's willing to say this thing that seems very obvious? Like, as an example, that women should not be competing against men in sports. Like, where were all of the bigwig people just coming out against this that could have shut this down in 1 second? You know, like, where are all the big entertainers? They all have brains. And the reason why none of them say it is because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. It's the reason that they none of them came out against, these mandates. None of them came out against, this thing. None of them, right? And you're like, where are they? There's no way that there's none of them who don't, none of them have questions about this. It's because they don't want to step out of line with those guys, because those guys own Pfizer. Those guys own Moderna. Those guys own the entire process. Okay, like, we're talking about the exact same people.
Now, I want you guys to listen to this dude break down so acutely the levels in which things so-called go. And I wanted to present his video just because of his appearance and his shared thought process. Listen as he speaks about the guys up there and the people down here, and how not too many people, especially on certain levels, had anything to say about, come on, man, because they didn't want to bite the hand that feeds them. When you're in this game and you're being provided opportunities by this game, you got to play the game's rules. You can't step outside the rules. Once you think you're bigger than a program, they have a way, their own little ways of whipping you back into shape. And everything that you did when you were feeling invincible and on top of the world and dancing and all of that stuff and all of that shit, It's going to come back to bite you. And that's what happened in this situation. The thing is, they knew about this man's lifestyle. They probably even shared the same type lifestyle. It gets real different when you get into different tax brackets. Just the mere fact that they knew and they knew people involved, it could have been easy to reach out to these people and give them an undisclosed amount of whatever to come forward and say these things. I don't think Cassie and these people were only paid by, well, Cassie for sure. I don't think she was only paid by Take That. I think she might have got some of that higher up money too. But let's check out this clip real quick, and I'll catch you guys on the back end of it.
And those guys own Diagio, and they made Diddy into a king. All right. Bottom line, like Diddy was made by these people. And Diddy had been a good partner to them throughout the last 25, 30 years, however long they had been in this partnership. Okay. So if you guys remember Ciroc vodka, we're going to go over this really, really quickly so that we are all on the same page about what just happened yesterday. Okay. Diddy had made something, he had made hundreds of millions of dollars through his partnership with Ciroc. Okay. And it was a revenue share. They had this vodka that wasn't doing very well. They put Diddy on. They're like, I mean, we don't know what to do with this thing. You know, we'll split any profits that are generated above what we're doing right now. We'll split with you, right? It was like a throwaway thing because they're like, whatever, it's all upside for us. And Diddy crushed it so hard with that partnership that he ended up making hundreds of millions of dollars. They enabled that. Okay, they are the ones who enabled that. They get into a second partnership with him, but this time they co-own a tequila brand. Whatever, the details don't matter. Diddy gets upset with them. Okay, Diageo is a $100 billion company. He says whatever, blah, blah, blah. He writes to them, starts threatening them. He wants $100 million from them or else, blah, 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 but whatever. Details not really super relevant for this. He says, I'm going to cry racism and I'm going to burn the house down, okay? Now, I could get into why he said that. It's irrelevant. It was still a very dishonest. It's just, what could be more dishonest than calling a company that has made a black man into a billionaire, okay? That black man, he's a billionaire black man, and you're threatening to call them racist? What could be more dishonest than that? And then he actually did it, and he cost the company $22 billion in market value. Bottom line, here's the bottom line, okay? When the judge says that the reason he's not letting him out is because he has proven that he is a violent threat to others, that he has shown himself to be incapable of following the law, yada, yada, yada. The reason that I can confidently say that someone stepped in and told the judge to not let him out is because the judge knows how the court system works. He knows how the legal system works. Okay, Diddy was not convicted of any violent crimes. He was acquitted of the violent crimes, okay? He is not facing charges from any violent crimes. He has nothing as it relates to the legal system related to violence pending. Okay. Now, is there a superseding indictment that's coming down the pipe? That's the only thing that I can think of. The only thing that could possibly explain what has happened is that there is a forthcoming superseding indictment that the judge knows about. That is my current theory. Okay. Because the opposite, the alternative makes no sense. Okay. The alternative makes no sense. Honestly, I'm actually thinking about this right now. Here are your only two options. Your only two options are the big boys called him and he said, don't let him out because they wanted to bury him under the jail. And you can rest assured that he is going to get a harsh sentence now, a very harsh sentence. Okay.
How do you get acquitted of the V offenses, but they keep you held over V type things? Nothing violent, you guys. F it, I'm going to say it. Nothing violent stuck to him. But they're keeping him in because they say he's a threat to society. These same people know that money talks, bullshit walks. You can make the same moves from behind bars. Point blank, period. Now, do I think there are more charges? There might be. But something is not right about this situation, y'all. And it's the biggest play in our faces in a long time. Since probably Mr. Huxtable. But because they got to pull off certain things, why stop now? I just wonder which situation was the floodgate for more situations like this. And why is us as a audience or peers or whatever you want to call it, why do we eat this shit up as if it's not more to the story? Like the video. Let me know where you're from. If you made it, say I made it. It's important you guys hit the comments because I'm about to trash this page, y'all. I'm not making nothing off of it. Nobody sends any donations except for Carrie, DC Mister, and maybe 2 or 3 other people. But it's important you guys hit the comments to keep this platform going for me or keep this page going because I'm about to toss it, you guys. It's not working anymore. I'm out. Peace.